want us to allow ourselves to be oppressed.
This is the big, I agree with you. This is the basic problem.
Then what do you let white people
Think they're better than others.
I can't solve the problem. You guys pull the strings and close schools. You guys are the bombers that keep our kids restricted to the ghetto. You guys write the restricted covenants that keep us out of houses. So it's up to you to talk to your brothers and your sisters and persuade them that they have a responsibility. We've assumed ours for over 400 years, and we're tired of this kind of stuff now. We're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our enemies. No more praying for those who despitefully use us. We're going to show you that we've learned the lessons you've taught us. We've studied your history, and you did not take over this country by saying we shall overcome. You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it in Alabama, and I can say you because you're part of the whole system. You profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach lines on the songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and oh Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated. So you can have him. And here's what I'm saying. I wish you would follow Jesus like we followed him. Because if you did that, then we'd be in charge tomorrow.
I was made in the image of Yahweh. My spirit Marvin Gaye, hot pump with black power. Way before the days when he tore down the towers. I ain't talking 9/11, Nimrod had the power. That was shining on. Before that we had the showers. Before Adam got deceived, he said the world was ours. Lost it in a second, cause we bite and we devour. Was given all of the earth and we don't even sing the water. Gave us Messiah and we don't even say our Father. We walk down heaven so our burdens getting harder. Word to the turbans on our elders with the Taurus. No capping, that's a rap that how was shy, he died for us. Mamas cried for us, daddies did their best if they survived the whole time. But we the mice, they lied to us. Synagogue is your time on my body and my mind. My soul for Yahweh, my purpose is aligned. This little light of mine running dim, but it shines. The dangers is your time pointing at me while I climb. You're looking at divine, most merciful and beneficent. The sun, moon, and stars, the creator of the firmament. That's why I stay marching to Zion, it's like the tournament. The rounds getting harder, but I still walk the waters. Euphrates and the Nile, the Mississippi River come to me. I will walk across the cover with a smile. Trials. I still hear Mary and my grandmother telling me I was special as a child, but I was in denial. The killers and the crack addicts made it hard to smile. She know I won't repent but keep my drug dealer style. Several gold chains, you can see them from a mile. I'm wild effervescent. I prove you can grow through your trials and your lessons, your curses and your blessings if you seek his acceptance.
I need
Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Wa Yashamaka, Wa Yashamaka, Yahweh, 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 Hanyawa Al Yak, Hanyawa Al Yak, Wa Yachanka, Wa Yachanka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah,
How about you? How about you? Shalom, kids.
Shalom, King, Shalom.
Shalom.
Uh,
Hey, man, I love that intro.
oh man, bro. Hey, that's like one of the best ways to come in this thing, man.
Khan, that's perfect, King.
Bro. Hey, giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Hey,
Khan.
Shabbat, brothers. Hey, all praises. Hey, so we're back in this Torah portion, right? Hey, we got commandment number 107, times and seasons, right? So, hey, this coming from Exodus 12 and 2, that the new month shall be solemnly proclaimed as holy, and the months and years shall be calculated by the Supreme Court only. Exodus 12 and 2. And who want to be the reader for the day?
Khan, I'm gonna get ready to come out, King. So I'm gonna let who can read for the brother.
Hey, or I'll read, and then hey, whoever want to do what they do, and we can do a group effort too. Exodus 12 and 2.
Yeah, I'm getting my stuff right.
Come. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 2. And it reads, "This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto the congregation of Israel, saying," right? And then it starts going into that. But hey, this right here is starting to let you know that at the beginning, how the Most High actually started bringing into account the months and how you could tell the months by the moons, right? And telling you what first month and the second month and so on, right? So this is commandment number 108, not to travel on the Sabbath outside the limits of one's place of residence. Exodus 16 and 29. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 29. "See, for that Yahweh hath given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the sixth day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the seventh day." Right? And so, and all praise to the Most High. Like I see that, a lot of people definitely say, well, what about all the servants that go out on the highways and byways? Right? Because I know that's always, one of the big things, right? So I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, King. I was actually bringing that up when I was doing the lesson. But yeah, brother. I mean, like I said, that was definitely for when we was in the wilderness and when we started running from the when we were in the in our places during the time when the Egyptians were after us and the Most High had us. That day he told us to stay inside. You know what I'm saying? But all praises to the Most High.
Hey,
Yeah,
all
King,
praise,
that was a commandment for that day. Yeah, come.
So
right?
is this saying like places where you rest at?
Right, con.
Come.
We're
If
going to
we
get
get into that a little deeper when we can, that'd be beautiful.
right. So, like bro said, Exodus, right, was the actual commandments before we went to the wilderness, right? The Exodus out of Egypt, and then Deuteronomy would be, the so-called second law, which is basically the reiteration of the law when we came into the Holy Land, right?
Come.
So, but this right here sums it up. Luke 4:16, and he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. Right. So that right there lets you know that right there when it says you're supposed to abide in one's place. Well, right now
going in towards going to the second Exodus or the second time of the wilderness, we're going out to actually teach our people. So it isn't like we're out there on the Sabbath enjoying ourselves, having a good time, going to restaurants saying, "Oh, well, we paying for this in advance so we can go hang out." No, we're actually going out and teaching the people. So whenever we go out on the actual end of the Sabbath or at the beginning, the initial portion of the Sabbath, we're actually going out to read. Because it said, as his custom was on the Sabbath day, he stood up for to read. So when we go out, that's why I say we don't speak our own words. We're actually reading the scriptures.
Perfect, King.
So, that's just for, because I know, people will comment and be like, well, you guys go out on the Sabbath day. Well, we're going to do the will of the Most High, right? We're not going out to have fun. We're not going out to, do our own will, right? So commandment number 109, to sanctify the Sabbath, Exodus 20:8. It's the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor the cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. So, we know that the Sabbath is a day of rest, right? Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be enjoying the Sabbath day, studying with our family, and when we go out to the highways and byways, we're actually teaching the people because we've forgotten our way. So we're just bidding the sheep back to the marriage, right? So that also was commandment number 110, not to do any work on the Sabbath, which was Exodus 20:10. Commandment number 111, to rest on the Sabbath day, Exodus 23:12. It's the book of Exodus chapter 23 and verse 12. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the seventh day thou shalt rest, and thine ox and thine ass may rest, and the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed. Right? So, that's a day that we got to definitely get ourselves rested up. But then we also have another scripture on that, Exodus 34:21.
You said Exodus what?
34:21. It's the book of Exodus chapter 34 and verse 21. 6 days thou shalt work, but on the seventh day thou shalt rest. In earing time and in harvest thou shalt rest. Right? So, now that's going into another feast day, but it's just letting you know that, on that seventh day, we got to rest to give all reverence, honor, glory, and praise to the Most High, Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? And we can't do our own will. So, commandment number 112, to celebrate the festivals, Exodus 23:14. It's the book of Exodus chapter 23 and verse 14. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Verse 15, thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days. I commanded thee in the time appointed of the month Abib, for in it thou camest out of Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. 3 times in the year shall thy males, in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord Yahweh. So, just letting you know that in those 3 festivals, that we got to appear before the Most High. So commandment number 113 and 114, to rejoice on the festivals, Deuteronomy 16:14, to appear in the sanctuary on the festivals, Deuteronomy 16:16, right? Because we can't just say, oh, well, I'm just going to stay over here and I'm going to observe the Most High's festivals, right? Unlike the Christian church, It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 14. And thou shalt rejoice in the feast, thou and thy son and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite, the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gates. Right? 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the place where he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. So, hey, you got to come, you got to bring an offering of some sort, as well as you got to righteously increase yourself. Like, you can't just come before the Most High like, well, I got the same gifts I had last year. All praise to the Most High. I hope that you accept them. No, the Most High is not going to accept it. So you got to appear before the Most High with a righteous offering. So going to the next commandment, commandment 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, right? 115 to remove leaven on the eve of Passover. 116 to rest on the first day of Passover. Numbers 117 not to do work on the first day of Passover. 118 to rest on the seventh day of Passover. And 119 not to do work on the seventh day of the Passover. Exodus 20 and 15 and 20 and 16. It's the book of Exodus chapter 20. Exodus 12, Shalaki. Exodus 12 and 15. It's the book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 15. 7 days shall you eat unleavened bread. Even the first day you shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day unto the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. And in the first day there shall be a holy convocation. Convocation is gathering. And on the seventh day there shall be a holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. So he's saying that only cooking can be the only work that you can do, right? Cooking and preparing for the cooking, which would be possibly washing dishes so you can get ready for the next day of feast, right? But other than that, right, you can't do anything outside of that, right? So, and on commandment 116, we also have another precept, Leviticus 23 and 7. Leviticus 23 and 7. And it reads, in the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. Right? So, hey, you got to do no servile work and you got to get together. So, commandment number 118 and 119, Leviticus 23 and 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. In the seventh day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. And Shalom, Royal King. Praise to the Most High for you. Right, so we're going to go into commandment number 120. To eat matzah, unleavened bread, on the first night of Passover. Exodus 12 and 18. It's the book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 18 through verse 19. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Right? Verse 20, ye shall eat nothing leavened in all your habitations, shall you eat unleavened bread. So that whole entire week, Shalaki, you shall eat nothing with leaven. And that is also commandment number 121, that no leaven be in the Israelites' possession during Passover. Commandment number 122, not to eat any food containing leaven in Passover. So we're going to commandment number 123, not to eat leaven on Passover. Exodus 13 and 3. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 3. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. Right? So that's all praises. So we're going to go to commandment number 124, 125. That leaven shall not be seen in the Israelites' home during Passover, and to discuss the departure from Egypt on the first night of Passover. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse 7. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee. Neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. And thou shalt shew thy son in that day, saying, this is done because of that which the Lord have unto me when I came forth, did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt. So it's letting you know that this is symbolic for the Most High delivering us. So it's a sacrifice that we must do, given to the Most High, considering that he delivered us. Right? So we're going to go into commandment number 126, not to eat leaven after midday on the 14th of Nisan, Deuteronomy 16 and 3. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16 and verse 3. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction. For thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt in haste, that thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt all the days of thy life. Right? So it's letting us know that, for the rest of our lives as an Israelite, right, we got to always observe to keep this unleavened bread feast week. Right? So we're going to go into commandment 127. To count 49 days from the time of the cutting of the omer, the first sheaves of the barley. Leviticus 23 and 15. Leviticus 23 and 15. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Shabbats shall be complete. Even until the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh. So, this is letting us know that, after the 49 days, the 50th day, will be that new day, that new feast, the feast of first fruit, right? So we're going to go to commandment number 128, to rest on Pentecost. Leviticus 23 and 21. To rest on Pentecost. Leviticus 23 and 21. And not to work on the feast of Pentecost. Leviticus 23 and 21. So that would be commandment 128 and 129. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 21. And ye shall proclaim on the self same day, that it may be an holy convocation unto you, a holy gathering. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. And when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of the harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am Yahweh your power. So it's just letting you know that this is going to be a statute forever, that you have to keep the Pentecost, the day of the Pentecost, as a Sabbath. So we're going to go to commandment number 130, to rest on Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets. Leviticus 23 and 24. And commandment number 131, not to do work on the Rosh Hashanah. Leviticus 23 and 25. It's the book of Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. So it's letting you know, on that particular day of the blowing, we'll start at verse 24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. So it's letting us know that, upon that particular feast day, that, we got to honor it and we got to gather together, not stay at the crib and do our own will. Right? So we're on commandment number 132. To hear the sound of the trumpet, shofar or ram's horn. Numbers 29 and 1. To hear the sound of the trumpet, shofar or ram's horn. Numbers 29 and verse number 1. It's the
I
book.
read it.
All right, Con, Ken.
Yeah, Numbers 29 and 1. And in the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. It is a day of blowing the trumpets unto you.
Right? So it's letting you know, that's the day of the trump, man. So we got to blow that shofar. So everybody that don't have a chauffeur, according to the commandments, you got to own a chauffeur. You have to go out. You have to purchase yourself a chauffeur, and you actually got to blow that thing, man. Right? So we're going to go to commandment number 133. To fast on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. So Yom Kippur is Hebrew for Day of Atonement. Right? Leviticus 23 and 27. It's the book of Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 27. Also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation. So during that day, at some point, you have to get together, right? Which is a holy, a set-aside gathering unto you. And ye shall afflict your souls, an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. And ye shall do no servile work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before Yahweh your power. Right? So, that's the day that you have to make an atonement for all your sins, right? Which actually is a very beautiful day, because you can actually, throughout that whole year, any secret sin that you might have forgot, or anything that you might not have had an opportunity to confess, right? You got to atone that thing, right? All praise to the Most High, Baruch Kashah. Right? So commandment number 134, not to eat or drink on Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement, because beyond popular belief, a true fast is not allowing anything to enter into your mouth. No water, nor food, nor drink, nor anything. You have to just go straight Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. Right? So this is Leviticus 23 and 29. It says, for whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. Right? So, beyond popular belief, right? You can't allow anything to go into your mouth. Right? You have to allow nothing to go into the mouth. Right? So, we're going to go into commandment number 136, to rest on Yom Kippur, which is Leviticus 23 and 32. Leviticus 23 and 32. It's the book of Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. So he's saying from even unto even. Shalom Lola, Yabashim Shabakata, and Shalom Quintana, Yabashim Shabakata, Shamartha Lola. So we got to afflict our souls, which means no food, no drink, and we have to literally continue to pray that whole entire day and read the scriptures, right? Because we got to purge out all that leaven, all that sin on that day. So we're going to go to commandment number 137, to rest on the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles, or Booths, Hebrews, that's Shakat in the Hebrew. Leviticus 23 and 35. To
I'll
rest
read it, King.
by King.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 35. You said 35?
Yeah, Khan.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 35.
You can start at
On the
34, King. So I'm sorry.
You said what?
You can start at 34.
34?
Mm-hmm.
Con. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 34. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. On the first day shall be in holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be in holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Khan. And that was also commandment number 138, not to work on the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles. 139, to rest on the 8th day of the Feast of Tabernacles. And 140, not to do any work on the 8th day of the Feast of Tabernacles, right? Because we know that, this is one of those 3 times that we got to present ourselves to the Most High. So, we got to honor the Most High in that day, and we got to do His will, which is getting together, getting in the scriptures, know why we're doing this feast, and then moving on, right? Con. So, all praise to the Most High. So we're going to go to the next commandment, which is commandment 140, not to do, 141, to take during Shakat a palm branch and the other 3 plants. Leviticus 23 and 40. To take during Shakat a palm branch and the other 3 plants. Leviticus 23 and 40. It's the book of Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 40. And ye shall take on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before Yahweh our power 7 days. So he just saying within that structure, right? We shall always be given thanks, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, right, for that whole 7 days, because we know now, you know what I'm saying, that we actually have other structures that we can take place with. We don't have to necessarily take branches and trees and leaves, and still we can honor that high holy day. So, but we got to be thankful. That's what it says. You shall rejoice before Yahweh our power, right? You have anything to add, Kings?
Yeah, Khan, so like it, yeah, because if you think of that law, like where they had to take and make their own booth, like we go to Walmart or Target somewhere, we buy a tent that's already set up. But just imagine our forefathers, they had to go and make their tent, make their booths. With certain trees, the Lord was real specific. He said with goodly trees and branches and palm trees. So you couldn't go get you couldn't go get branches from like an oak tree. Yeah, this thing was specific. The Lord is the ultimate what they call it interior designer or designer of Israel, because he made specific points in the law that we should oblige by.
Come. And that's all. And that's all praises, because you're exactly right, because the Most High is very particular in the things that he does and what he wants done. And that's just all praises.
Con, even when it comes to measurements, you
Even
know,
measurements. He
con.
didn't get no games, man. Like he was serious about that thing. So now we're gonna go to commandment number 142, to dwell in booths 7 days during Sukkot. Leviticus 23 and 42.
I read it.
Uh,
Leviticus 23 and 42.
uh,
Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
hey, so if you born an Israelites, right? And keep going one more.
Verse 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
And that's the reason why we have that particular feast week, because we remember when he brought us out of Exodus, in the Exodus out of Egypt, and we dwelt in tents. So that's why he
Mhm.
said, hey, remember this thing, man. Remember, it wasn't always you had a house, it wasn't always you had a nice structure. Hey, you had to dwell in hard times, right? Hey, sometimes it's rough sleeping on that straight ground. You ain't got no blow up mattress when you're in them booths. So all praise to the Most High that He have blessed us to be able to have those structures. So that concludes our feast, our feast portion. Let me see the name of that portion. Times and seasons. So now we're going to go into some dietary. This is commandment number 143. To examine the marks in cattle so as to distinguish the clean from the unclean. Leviticus 11 and 2. And that's crazy because they don't even say anything about that. They just kind of like cut any cow up. And he just said we got to distinguish the marks on them. Leviticus 11.
Mm.
That's deep, man.
I think so. Like I think that's remember when Jacob was leaving Laban, he was leaving, and he said all the speckled cattle or
Yep.
goats,
Con.
and so that's how Jacob was able to lead with that multitude of cattle because the Lord made all the cattle that Laban that came from Laban cattle with speckles and spots. So all Jacob cattle was like without speckles or spots. And so he
Con.
was able to take that with him, when he left Laban with his wife, with Leah and Rachel.
You right too. And that's also when he says, hey, don't try to sacrifice a blemished animal to me. Doesn't that
Con,
might be a
con,
clean animal. It might be in the category of clean animals to sacrifice, but hey, if it got a blemish, the Most High don't want it because it's not perfect. So that lets you know how set apart we are because He wants us to only eat perfect animals, even if it is a clean animal. So go ahead, King.
con. Yeah, this is the book of Leviticus. Oh, you want to bring it up? 11 and 2?
Yep, 11 and 2.
Con, it's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Right? Hey, and then now it's going to go to the clean and unclean. Right? Go ahead, King.
Con, verse 3. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall you eat.
Hey, and that's it. That's what you eat. So commandment number 144, not to eat the flesh of the unclean beast. Leviticus 11 and 4.
Con. Nevertheless, these shall you not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that divided the hoof. As the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
Right? And then we can keep reading down and we can go down to we can go all the way not to verse I guess 10 or verse
10.
9, all the way down, read down
Keep
to
going down.
yeah.
Okay, Con. Verse 5. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean. He is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall you not eat, and their carcass shall you not touch. They are unclean to you.
Right? And
He-
that starts to go into that starts to actually go into anything in their families as well, like the Cooney and their family, the hare and their family, the swine and everything in their family, right? Those would all be unclean. The camel and their family, right? So those are all the unclean that chew up the cud, but isn't it? So now we're gonna get into Unclean, not to eat unclean fish, Leviticus 11 and 11, which bro was about to bring out.
Con, the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse number 11. Say 11?
Yep, 11 and 11.
Con, the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 11. They shall be even an abomination unto you, even shall unto you, ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination.
Go ahead, one more.
Con, verse 12. Whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you.
So hey, we always teach this. Anything that don't have fins and scales, shrimp, crab, bob, and everything along that line, hey, they are an abomination. We cannot eat them. As much as you want to dip it in that disgusting butter with the garlic in it, can't
All
do
right.
it. So commandment number 147, to examine the marks in fowl so as to distinguish the clean from the unclean. Deuteronomy 14 and 11.
Con, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 11. And it reads, of all clean birds ye shall eat.
Keep going.
Keep going. Con. But these are they of which ye shall not eat: the eagle, and the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the gledy, and the kite, and the vulture after his kind, and every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckow, and the hawk after his kind, the little owl, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gear eagle, and the cormorant, and the stork, and the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat, and every creeping thing that flieth in is unclean unto you. They shall not be eaten.
Hey, so we can't eat none of that, right? So hey, at the end of the day, it looks like chicken. It is chicken and turkey. Enjoy.
Con, that's right.
Hey,
Fish.
chicken, turkey,
And you
right?
think these other nations, if you watch some of these channels, like on YouTube, like these safari hunting channels, you have Esau and these other nations, and I don't seen them kill and cook and eat every last one of these unclean birds,
Man,
just for sport or to see how it tastes. They making prep it and make it look good. They can make probably an eagle look just like a roasted chicken or something like that.
Mm.
But the Lord said it's unclean to you,
so clean
so we
until
can
I
eat it.
come. Hey, and that's crazy. And it says not to eat any unclean fowl. Hey, Leviticus 11 and 13. Hey, Most High, hey, he be wearing it out, man. It's crazy that he got to tell us over and over again.
Con,
We just continue to do what we want to do.
con, you want me to get it?
Con,
11 and 13.
that's crazy, man. Because, hey,
This,
Israel, we just crazy and wicked, man.
this the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 13.
Bring it out.
And these are they which ye shall have, Salaki. And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination: the eagle, and
Mm.
the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckow, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the great eagle, and the stork, the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. All fowls that creep going upon all fours shall be an abomination unto you.
Hey, and that's crazy, man, because he had to repeat it, man. He had to repeat it again as if, he didn't tell you. But
God.
you know how Israel is. Israel get wicked. But commandment number 149, to examine the marks in locusts so as to distinguish the clean from the unclean. Leviticus 11 and 21. And we can,
God,
and
you
we can
good?
go down through 23.
Down to 23?
Yeah, we can read 21 through 23.
God. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 21. Yet these may you eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all fours, which have legs above their feet to leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat, the locust after his kind, and the ball locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you.
Hmm. So we can eat the beetles too. All praise.
Mhm.
All praise. I'm gonna have to open up my dietary a little bit. Hey, all
Go
praise.
get a beetle today.
Oh
We
man.
should, we should go get some of these clean and just try it, like the grasshopper
Huh.
and the locust.
Yeah, because they
That
be
what John ate, right? Locust and
yeah,
wild locust and honey.
Con. I think we can only eat beat the bugs that like hop on that hop or something like that, right, on the hind feet.
yup. Yeah,
Con,
I
con.
believe.
it'll look like
Con.
it might not be the little beetle we thinking of. It might be like a bigger beetle that hops.
It said we have
Read,
four
read
legs
that.
above their feet.
Read that one more time, King. Read that one more time about the beetle.
Okay, con. From that.
22.
Con is 22. Even these of them ye may eat, the locust after his kind, and the ball locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind.
Oh, con.
Let me go up. Let me go up because it explains it in 21. It say,
Mm.
yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all fours, which have legs above their feet. So they gotta have legs above their feet.
Con, the ones that hop, like you know what I mean. They got them long legs that hop. Yeah,
Con,
con.
con.
Okay. So we have to examine that. Hey.
Yeah, examine that beetle though. Yeah, somebody
Yeah,
got the Hey, somebody got look up the blue letter on that.
Huh.
I got it
Brother
down.
Katana, Brother Manatazak put, I say no to dung beetles.
You was gonna pull it up, King, or
Yep. Yep. I'm
Oh
about to.
no, I can't pull it up on my because I'm on the phone. Actually need it. It's gonna go off.
Yeah. No, I'm about to pull it up right
I
now.
think bro will pull it up.
King. You talking about King? All right, so
Mhm. Yeah, man. Hey, this is real right here.
Yeah, cause you caught out in Jacob's trouble. And, unclean. You know,
we gotta know these things.
right?
You do
I'm
too.
I'm just going for all grasshoppers. I put them on the stick. Jake? What make something out of it?
Hey, I
Eh,
said,
eh,
Lord's willing, I'm gonna travel along the coastline of these cities with my fishing rod, fishing string,
uh,
and, try to get fish, get that good fish.
Strong's H 2728. Gergol. Gergol.
Hargo is a kind of locust, a leaping creature. So you're right.
Mm,
See, that's why I said look it up,
hmm
because it's not that same beetle we thinking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it says that it gotta have like feet above its legs, so it gotta be one that hop. So that's why I
Right.
figure I know it wasn't the beetle that we think. You know what I'm saying?
Here it
There's
goes right here.
actually another precept on that explain that too. On the
See that right there?
what was that you got? Leviticus King?
Yep. But this is it right here. A locust
Con,
ball. You see it? But no, that one got six.
con.
That one got 6 legs though, and that's it. Four.
Oh, con.
So we gotta find out 4 legs.
The four-legged beetle.
Yep. Here we go. Oh, but it still got that one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay,
because
I see what they're saying. It's got the legs above the feet.
yeah, and it actually saying that other one is arms, so the front one will be arms. That's what it's saying.
Okay.
Yeah, the front ones is probably considered arms and the back four is legs. Yeah, so that makes sense.
I stick with the grasshopper to make sure because I know for sure that brother.
Yeah, yeah,
I know
yeah.
brother John had the you know what I'm saying, he had the we gonna get the slather with some honey on it.
Bro. So yeah, I'm like you. I'm gonna stick to that. So hey, so all praises. So yeah. So commandment number 150, not to eat a worm found in fruit. Leviticus 11 and 41.
Con, it's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 41. For I am the Lord your God. You said, therefore, you said Leviticus 11, 41.
Yep, and 41.
Con, the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 41. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, so like, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten.
Mm. So he let you know anything that creep on the earth, you shall not be eaten. We
Con,
can even go in depth and go a little bit further.
con.
That'll
Verse
be
4.
that'll actually be 151 as well.
Shalom, brother. HOINC. Shalom, King.
And Shalom, King, or Yahweh Shalom Shabbat. Shalom,
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
right, Khan. Then commandment number 151, not to eat of things that creep upon the earth.
Con is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 41. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all four, or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination.
Hey, that was like caterpillars and worms and snails and slugs. None of
Mhm.
that. Can't eat that.
Snakes,
Snakes.
centipede.
Hey, that's a no-no. Right? So commandment number 152, not to eat any vermin of the earth. Leviticus 11 and 44.
Con, it's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and verse 44. For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourself, and ye shall be holy. For I am holy. Neither shall you defile yourself with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Hey, so you can't do it. Right? So commandment number 153, not to eat things that swarm in the water. Leviticus 11 and 43, and then jump to 46.
Con, the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 43. Ye shall not make yourselves abomination with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall you make yourself unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. Verse 46. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the water, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth.
Hey, so that's letting you know, hey, and that goes back into defiling your temple. Like we said, it goes with food as well as, you know what I'm saying, the outside. So food isn't the only thing, the outside is the only thing, breaking the commandments, like all these things defile the temple, right? So we're gonna go to commandment number 154, not to eat of winged insects. Deuteronomy 14 and 19.
Con. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 14, verse 18. And in the place of the boil,
No,
there be a
Deuteronomy 14:19.
Deuteronomy. Salaki.
Oh
Salaki.
no, you fine. Hey, and the Most High, hey, he going for blood. He like letting you know, look, everything is wicked, but what I tell you, you talking about, I can pray over it, but that don't make it okay.
Con. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 19. And every creeping thing that flieth is unclean unto you. They shall not be eaten.
That's just plain. That's plain.
Con.
Hey, not to eat the flesh of a beast that is torn. Exodus 22 and 30. Not to eat the flesh of a beast that is torn. Exodus 22 and 30 through 31.
Con. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 22, and verse number 30. Likewise shalt thou do with thy oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with its dam. On the 8th day thou shalt give it me, and ye shall be holy men unto me. Neither shall you eat any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs.
So them survivor shows and stuff when they be having all that roadkill and they go and eat it, that's off, man.
God. And
So
that's twofold. That's twofold as well. He says you should cast it to the dogs. I mean these other nations.
Con. And but
Slaves.
that's why the other nations be the ones eating that stuff.
Con, because we did it in the kingdom. We cast it to them, and that's why, like you said, yeah, they eat this. And that's twofold too. You think about it, because this was before the kingdom. These were the laws that Moses was giving the Israelites. So think about it, how they turned the tables on us after we went to slavery in America.
Mm.
And now we have to eat those unclean foods that we had no knowledge of, like the swan and these other animals that we probably had no knowledge of. But Esau so crafty, like, yeah, it's like James Brown, the big payback. You know, now we were eating those foods because we had them eating those foods, you know, in the kingdom.
Hey,
So like no, God, they they threw us the scraps and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that, they didn't eat, they threw it to us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, King. But that was a curse of the Most High, man. He made all our blessings turn to curses, man, because we went off, man. That's what we had to deal with. It's gone.
And that's the balance, though. That's always a just balance, though, because just like he laid their heritage waste, and our heritage been laid waste. But that's the righteous balance, though. He's so righteous.
And the Most High is so righteous because everybody got a chance to rule. So can't nobody say, hey, we ain't ruled before. You know what I'm saying? All these nations got a chance to rule.
Hey, and brother Quintana said he ain't eating them dung beetles, right?
Yeah, con.
I said that earlier. God. Nah, that's off anyway. God.
Leaping creatures. So yeah, man. So we're gonna get to the next commandment. Commandment number 156: not to eat the flesh of a beast that died of itself. Deuteronomy 14:21.
Con. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse number 21. Ye should not eat of anything that died of itself. Thou shalt give it into the stranger that is in thy gate.
What did he say?
That he may eat it.
He said you shall give it what?
Ye should not eat of anything that died of itself. Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in thy gates.
Come on, keep going. Hey, because that's crazy.
Con. Hey, that when you think of that, you think of Isaiah, is it 40 and 17? And the shotgun. You think of 2nd Ezra 6 and 54, because these nations are nothing. So the Lord said, give it to them. But we can't touch it.
Hey, and Quintana said the same thing, like chitlins and pig feet, because hey, we gave that to them probably in our ancient days.
We gave them lamb feet and lamb intestines.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But pigs, we know the swan wasn't used for that, man. Swan was used for what it was used for. If it was in the kingdom, it didn't have nothing to do with us eating. You know what I mean? That wasn't even considered a food. You know what I mean? It's like we don't look at dogs as food. We don't look at rats as food.
Right.
That's exactly how pigs were. You know what I'm saying? But hey, there's some Asian countries, they look at that as food. You know what I mean? Rats as food, but we don't look at it as food. You know what I'm saying? So gone.
Right. And watch, finish that off, King. Watch.
Con. Shall give it to the stranger that is in thy gates, that he may eat it, or thou mayest sell it unto an alien. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not steep a kid in his mother's milk.
Salakia King, you said we couldn't eat it because what, King? We are holy people, correct?
Con,
Khan.
Right, and we—that's what the Most High. See, we separate. We're not supposed to eat and do the things that everybody else. Plus, our body's not even built like that. Hey,
con,
that's why Esau, Moab, uh, other these other nations can eat certain things that we can't eat. Our body
Hmm.
don't do. Hey, look, we get sick after, we catch we get diabetes or other things happen to us when we eat things that's unclean to us, man. That's why the Most High said, because we're holy people, bro.
con,
You know what I'm saying?
Khan.
con. You're right. So we're on commandment number 157 to slay cattle, deer, and fowl according to the law of their flesh is to be eaten. Deuteronomy 12 and 21.
Khan. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 21. In the place which the Lord thy God hath chosen to put his name, there be two far from thee. Then thou shalt kill of thy herd and of thy flock, which the Lord hath given thee, as I have commanded thee, and thou shalt eat in thy gates, whosoever thy soul lusteth after, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, even as the roebuck and the hart is eaten, so thou shalt eat them. The unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike.
Keep going.
You going? Con. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh.
Hey, and he letting you know, look, man, that's the law, man. You eat the flesh, right? But you can't eat the blood. You can't eat the life, man. That's just going off. So that's the way that you have to eat. You can eat the flesh, just not the blood. And that's how you know Esau stands for everything opposite of the Bible.
Right, right.
But in fact, I saw a dude in the Edomite in the gym after he got done working out, drinking nothing but blood, talking about this is all the protein, and I'm just sitting there like, come on, man. But hey,
Mm.
they were definitely made for that, right? So commandment number 158, not to eat a limb removed from a living beast. Deuteronomy 12 and 23.
Con, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 23. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh.
See,
Thou
so
shalt not eat it, thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water.
see, hey, and he letting you know right there, like, look, and go one more.
Come on. Verse 25. Thou shalt not eat it, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord.
Hey, the Most High is so righteous. You see how he said he gonna punish your children if you do
Mm,
this. If you want to go do this, I'm gonna punish your children, and that's what's going on with Esau, because they just keep doing it and keep doing it, and they going everything against the scriptures. Mm, mm,
mm, ah,
that's crazy, man. He said so it will go well with your children after you. Dang. Hey, so we're gonna go to commandment number 159, not to slaughter an animal and its young on the same day. Leviticus 22 and 28. Not to slaughter an animal and its young on the same day. Leviticus 22 and 28. Hey, Esau done went against that one. You know good and well he slaughtered a whole herd all at the same time. He don't give a dang.
con, con. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 22, verse 28. And it reads, and whether it be cow or ewe, ye shall not kill it and her young both in one day.
Mm. Hey, that's plain, clean cut. Kill
That's Salaki, that's like wicked if they do that anyway, because how is the calves gonna get the nutrients from the mother?
mm.
If they kill the mother calf or ewe in the same day that they give birth.
Hey, and that's spiritual too, because think about what they did to our forefathers. It said they were not regard the old nor the young. So that right there is a whole nother spiritual aspect. They don't regard the young or the old. And that comes even down to the animals. They just wicked, man.
Con.
So we're going to do commandment number 160 and 161. Not to take the mother bird with the young. and to set the mother bird free when taking the nest. Deuteronomy 22, verse 6 and 7.
Con,
Deuteronomy
it's the book of
7. I'm sorry.
it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, say number verse 6.
Yep, and 7.
Con. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, and verse number 6. If a bird nest chance to be before thee in the way in any tree, or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dam with the young, but thou shalt in any wise let the dam go, and take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days.
He said you may prolong your days. Dang.
And that just something simple as, but that goes to show like every law we know Esau breaks because them heifers, back in the day, a heifer is someone who cut trees down. Modern day, tree cutter. And you think they were observing every tree to see that they have a nest or bird eggs or the dam, sitting on the young? No, they just cut multiple trees down and the nest fell with it.
Damn. They don't care about life, period, man. That's what it boils down to. But all praise, they will be destroyed.
Why do you think that Mosai would have that law?
Come on, man.
That's just some simple as birds sitting on the nest. That's how the Mosai get down. And he said he fed those birds. He gave the birds that nest.
Huh?
So
hey, that's all praises, man. And that's why they're going to get punished, because how many laws have they broken? All of them.
Con.
So commandment number 162, not to eat the flesh of an ox that was condemned to be stoned. Exodus 21 and 28.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 28. And it reads, if an ox gore a man or a woman, that they die, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten. But the owner of the ox shall be quit. But if the ox were wont to push with his horns in time past, and it had been testified to his owner, and he had not kept him in, but that he had killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death.
Because his owner didn't neglected to keep the people safe. So hey, Most High, like, look, it's gonna cost you on this one.
Because we don't really think about that law. We may think in terms of this law here, like let's say a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like a vicious dog, like a pit bull or something. And the owner dog had got out before, and it probably bit somebody, and they told the owner, and then he didn't really secure the fence or how the dog got out. The dog get out again and bite somebody. Hey, you gotta die.
Huh?
That's just the Most High making sure that we're not being
negligent.
Yeah, negligent towards raising the cattle back in the day, because hey, there was no grocery stores. You was around these large beasts, these big animals that we dealt with on a daily basis.
Huh? Hey, all praises. You right too, bro. So commandment number 163 and 64, they're the same. Not to boil meat with milk, and not to eat flesh with milk, but not to boil meat with milk. Exodus 23 and 19.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 19. The first of the first fruits of thy land, thou shalt bring it, Salaki, thou shalt bring into the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk.
Hey, you shouldn't see a kid in his mother's milk, right? So, hey, that means boil. Seeth means to boil, right? Should I bring that up on a blue letter so people can see that?
Yeah, con, because I really want to get more clarity on that word seek because it was in there. He used it before.
Yeah, because I know I looked it up too earlier this week.
Oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. If it say thou shalt not boil a kid in his mother's milk, meaning, but like they not gonna know, but that's how the Most High want it.
And it makes sense though.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
Con.
Man, it's crazy too because they don't go for nothing.
Strong's H 1310. Bashal. Bashal. And the form just below that, Bashal. Bashal.
It says to boil, to cook, to bake, roast, ripen, grow, to ripe, or grow ripe, to boil, cook, to grow ripe, ripen, to boil, to cook, to be boiled, to be sodden, to ripen, ripen, brought to ripenness. And then bashal, a primitive root, properly to boil up, hence to be done in cooking, figuratively to ripen, bake, boil, bring forth, roast, or see it, sodden, be sodden. So
Mm.
it all goes to
Con.
you can't damn
I never seen that technique. You ever seen that technique?
nah.
They use milk instead of water to
That's
boil meat.
that's crazy. I've never saw that.
I
And then
never
it's
saw. You have to use a lot because milk evaporates at a higher temperature really fast. So I wonder how they even do that.
but then they also boiling it with their moms with the baby
Yeah,
mothers.
with the yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's wicked, man. But not to eat flesh with milk. Exodus 34 and 26. Uh-oh. Matter of fact, don't Esau always promote that? Like have milk with your dinner?
Mm-hmm. Oh, not to eat. Which one is that one?
Um, it's commandment number 164, not to eat
Okay.
flesh with milk.
Ah,
I
Con. That's
think
why on that the food chart they promoted that a lot. They promoted
yeah,
drinking milk. You know, I didn't even know that. I'm glad when I didn't. Well, I don't drink milk anyway, but
but I think it's the same thing because when you read it, read it. It kind of reads the same thing.
Con. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34, and verse number 26. Is it 26? Yes, sir. And it reads,
Salakia, this is why some brothers believe. This is why the Edomites, the small hats, promote that you can't have cheeseburgers. Come on, man. But go ahead,
Oh
King.
man.
well, it isn't that right there? You put cheese on the burger?
Well, read the law. I don't know what. Read the law again. Watch.
Okay. All right.
That's why I said I
This is the
think it's
book of this is the book of Leviticus. I mean Exodus chapter 34, verse 26. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk.
and it's the same thing. That's like boiling. But I'm thinking they saying it because like a lot of people if you boil something like a stew, you're gonna actually dip like for instance with a stew we boil it in water and then after
Right.
we kind of put that in a bowl and we kind of eat the broth with the meat. So I'm thinking,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? So brother Quintana, he's saying that might be a Middle Eastern or Elon thing. Yeah.
That's what I was
Mhm.
thinking about too. King. I think they do stuff like that. Like even Hamites.
Con.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Hey, and it makes sense though because when we get that stew, we kind of like dip out the stew and we have that broth in like our bowl, And then at the end, we usually drink the broth with the stew or dip our cornbread with it. So it makes sense that if you boil it in milk, you're probably going to have that milk in your bowl. So that's probably like saying why you shouldn't be drinking milk and eating flesh. Like, probably 'cause if you sodden with it, it probably is that whole situation again, which is wicked.
It might be. I'm thinking it's something like to do with. We do more research on it. But I think it's something to do with just, you know, just like he tells us not to eat the eggs when the mom's around. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Or it go into what's the other one? We can't kill the mother and the baby together. Or you know what I'm saying? It's just
and that's absolutely.
Brother. Yeah, I mean, that's something to think about. If you think about it, right? Flesh is beef. Cheese is made from milk. You know? Hey, that's a tough one right there. Like you say, got to do some more research on that one.
Let's say those seath, right? Seath means to boil, right?
Yeah. Let's go to this one. Let's make sure this one is the same one.
And it's mother's milk.
Yep. So let's see if this is the same one as that other one. Because that's
they using it. They using seath in the same verse or way. I'm pretty sure it's probably the same definition.
Let's see. That's a good question, man.
That'd be something. Israel got to give up cheeseburgers.
Oh man, bro.
Damn.
That'd be painful.
Strong's H1310. Bashal.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Bashal.
Yeah, it's the same one.
And the form just below that, Bashal. Bashal.
It's the same thing, to boil, to cook. Yeah, so to cook in that. So yeah, so it's a little different.
You think this one? They may have probably got to find the right law to go with.
With this particular one?
Yeah, 164. You think that's the right law? Because we know you're not gonna boil it. So if you don't boil it, we know you're not gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Remember, it says in its mother's milk. Like you can't. You know what I'm saying? We can't be doing it.
Okay,
in its mother's milk.
Okay. So you can do it, but it can't be his mother's milk. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right.
Well, yeah, I mean, we wouldn't boil no meat anyway. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
water.
I
don't know who did that.
You gotta get his cousin. You gotta boil his cousin milk or his aunt's milk.
We gotta look into that heavy.
Yeah, not his mother's.
Yeah, Khan. So hey.
Khan King. Brother Manathas are Khan.
Khan, right? Yeah,
Khan.
Yep. So commandment number 65, not to eat the thigh vein with shrink. Genesis 32 and 33.
32. I think it'll be 32. Because we went over that last time.
32 and verse 33.
Oh, yeah, 32. Because it's not a 33.
Oh yeah.
That was that typo we found the first time we went over.
Come on, man. Thank you. Thank you, elders. We love you.
This the book of Genesis chapter 32, verse 32. Therefore, the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, until this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank. So y'all know that's the account when he was wrestling the angel.
Yep, Khan.
And he broke Jacob's thigh. And so that same vein is inside like chicken. You can really sit in a chicken thigh.
Yep, you can.
So Ariel, you can't be You can't be taking just leaving the bone out. Yeah, come on, brother.
Hey, been more diligent too at that with the legs, because you see that
Yeah.
vein in that leg.
Yeah,
AK, I'm
Con,
like
that's
that
right.
anyway. When I see that junk, I shut down, brother.
Bro. I've been more diligent. I've been more diligent with that, man. Like, dang. I think about that scripture every time. I ain't like, ooh, I can't eat that. I leave that whole piece
Con,
of meat on there. I'm like, I don't even want to snap it.
Ask Monogazar eat the whole thing,
Come
the
on, Manal.
bone and everything. Cut it
the
out,
whole bone.
Monogazar. The whole joint.
And
That's
it's like a different duration in color.
okay.
It's like always like a dark,
Oh,
like
whoever.
yeah.
Oh, Salakia King. Oh, Salakia King. No, I was reading what the brother put in.
Yeah, Con. Let's
Genesis
bring
18.
that come up. Yeah, let's bring that up real quick.
Con.
In the butter. Genesis 18 and 7. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 8
Okay, Con.
and verse 7. And it
Genesis
reads,
18.
it's the book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 7. And it says, and Abraham ran unto the herd and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hastened to dress it. And he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. So, hey, you can drink milk and meat. All
Yeah,
praise
yeah,
to the Most
yeah.
High. Right there.
Yeah, Con, all praises. All praises.
To the
I
Most
think you
High.
just can't boil it in the mother's milk.
Yeah, you can't boil in the
That's
mother's milk.
that's the law, yeah.
That's wicked.
Con. The water for that, King.
Yeah,
Water
a
for that.
lot of times, I'm telling you, man, we got to be careful, man. We a lot of brothers, we be following uh, these, uh, these damn heathen ways, man. That took our scriptures and our law and trying to make it their own. You know what I'm saying?
Con.
That's what Christ was cutting them with all that man-made law.
Mankind. Hey, they wicked, man. Hey, this is another one I'm diligent at. Commandment 166, not to eat the fat of the offering. Leviticus 7 and 23. Hey,
Con. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 7, and verse number 23.
and go through 25.
Con. And it reads, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, ye shall eat no manner of fat of ox or of sheep or of goat, and the fat of the beast that died of itself, and the fat of that which is torn with beasts may be used in any other use, but ye shall in no wise eat of it. For whosoever eateth the fat of the beast, of which men offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, even the soul that eateth it shall be cut off from his people.
Mm. Dang. Yeah.
Hey, that ox, man, I'm telling you, you gotta be real careful with that ox. Because I had to repent the last time we had oxtails.
Yeah, man.
I know I got a piece of fat that was with it. That's a small little piece.
Hey, somebody said something the other day that was funny. He said, is there anything other than the ox tail we can eat? They just give us tails, but where the rest of the ox at? I'm like, dang, that's a good point. Like the ox is a big animal. What is that other good?
Yeah, man, that is like they just chop the tails off the ox, and
Yeah, right?
because I never had an ox burger or ox stew.
Or steak.
Damn, that is crazy.
Everything is all oxtail, because even the stew is oxtail stew.
Yeah, yep,
Oxtail
con.
stew. Like, where's the rest of the ox at? The ox is a big animal.
That's damn. If you can eat the tail, you definitely can eat the ox.
The ox. So where's the rest of the animal? Somebody said that. I'm like, man, I need to find out where they make like ox steaks or ox, you know what I'm saying, roast or whatever, because it got to be
Right.
out. It's too much animal. I know they ain't just killing that whole animal just for the tail. That's got to be all.
No, brother, that come from the cow, brother.
Oh, well,
That's the cow's tail, okay?
the
Oh,
cow.
hold on.
Yeah.
So ox
So
is
the
So we
ox is
damn,
a cow?
yeah, it's the tail of a cow. That's where the oxtails come from.
so
Okay, con.
we don't eat
Mm-hmm.
the cow though. They eat bull. We eat the bull though, right? The
Say
rest.
again, King?
I said, so we don't eat no other part of that cow than the female. We only eat just the male, right?
I'm
Or
not sure.
females? So I wonder.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure.
And we gonna have to look that
Right,
up.
right, both of them. Sure.
Hey,
Yeah,
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 yeah.
both they both
I
had
think we eat the
tails.
I think we eat the female because I mean the male that gonna probably be all muscle.
muscle. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, you're right.
I mean, you know, for the most part, anyway, you know, they make certain cows for certain things, but you know.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Brother, I'm gonna be honest with you. All these times, like the brother probably thinking it too. All the time when they say oxtails or ox in the Bible, I'm thinking of damn Paul Bunyan, that ox.
Yep.
You remember that blue ox, like in Paul Bunyan tale? Think of an ox with the
Me too.
horns. Because they just said it. They just said if the ox, you know, kill somebody. We just read that in the law, right?
Come.
With an ox.
Yep. Yep.
So,
yeah,
so we
Salaki,
eat cow
that
tail.
actually is Salaki.
Oh man,
It's
I'm gonna
crazy.
have to look into that some more. I'm gonna have to look into that
Me too.
because I didn't know that.
Me either.
On the ox, you can
Yeah, I thought.
we eat both. We eat the male and
Yeah,
female, but it's preferred
the
to
male
eat the
or the
male
female.
because you reproduce
Yeah,
the female.
they used to use the ox, but now they use the cow or either cow, male or female.
Look like them
Oh,
ox,
okay.
like them long ass with the long horn coming out the side.
Right, right.
The
Huh.
trail the
So I
Remember?
never seen a cow tail that thick though. I ain't never seen a cow tail. Really, I
Yeah.
ain't really look. Look it up, bro. Look, see a
Come.
picture of an ox and a cow. Let's just see.
Yeah, it's like it's all like the
Verification.
same family. It's like ox. You got the bull. You got the buffalo. It all comes from the same family.
Con.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. 'Cause I was thinking the same thing, like you said with the Paul Bunyan. That's what I was thinking myself too. Y'all see it?
Con.
So that's the ox. Damn, ox got a big tail.
You know Esau cheap. He wanna give you the cow and charge you for an ox.
That's the cow.
See how skinny that tail is?
Yeah.
Mostly like hair because they actually use it to fan off the manure
Yep.
that so that's how they clean themselves with that bushy tail.
You're
Cause look
absolutely
at
right.
that. That's what I was picturing when you said cow. I'm like,
And then we said, yeah. And then we said ox. And that tail is a big difference. Look at this tail. That's the tail right there. And that's what we eating right there. Cause that's long too. Cause when I get them oxtails, that's about that length. But where's the rest of the meat though? That's what I'm asking. Where's the rest of that meat at? I'm gonna
yeah,
put
I never had an ox burger.
Hey King, look up what they use, King. Just look it up real quick.
what do they use the rest of the meat for?
No. Look up what tail do they use for the oxtail?
Or what type in what are oxtails or
Yeah, it looks like the tail, don't it?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Oh, and then it says bison oxtail.
Oxtail stock basic method. Yeah, buffalo. Yeah, like the brothers saying they all in that same family.
Yep, they
The
all in the same.
buffalo, the ox, the
Yep.
cow, the bull,
Bison.
bison. Yep.
Yep. So Zari was absolutely correct. That's all it's saying. It's craziness, man.
Con, but you gotta know, that they, that stuff costs too much, so they give us the cow and charge us for an ox. You know what I mean? Because it said, I'm gonna read it real quick. I just found. Watch. It says, "What is oxtails?" It said, "Oxtail is the tail of a cow. A long time ago, it came from the tail of an ox, but now it comes from the tail of a cow of either sex. The
Mm.
tail is skinned and cut into sections. Each section has a tailbone with some marrow in the center. So yeah, all of it is considered ox.
Wow.
Esau, man, he just gonna charge you for the damn ox because an ox costs more money. They almost killed them all anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Quintana silly like snitch. Hey, because we fat is basically for the people. The people are offering sacrifice. We cannot eat those things for the sacrifice animal. Other animals you can't eat it. Hey, hey, it's hard, man. Hey, so we gonna get back to the last three commandments of this section. 167, not to eat blood. Leviticus 7:26 through 27.
Con. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 7 and verse 26. Moreover, you shall eat no manner of blood, whether it be of fowl or of beast, in any of your dwelling, whatsoever soul it be that eateth any manner of blood, even that soul shall be cut off from his people.
Hey, and that's it, man. Plain and simple.
Con.
So
Con.
number 168, to cover the blood of undomesticated animals, deer, etc., and of fowls that have been killed. Leviticus 17:13 through 14.
Con. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 17, verse 13. And whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh, the blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of the flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth, whosoever eateth it shall be cut off.
Hey, you can't eat the blood, man. So commandment number 169, not to eat or drink like a glutton or drunkard, not to rebel against father or mother. Leviticus 19:26.
And
Again,
Salaki, that actually explains what a a wine bibber, or you know what I'm saying, or a person that wine bibber is an alcoholic, a person that overindulge.
Con. Because that's the account where the young man was eating all the food and being disrespectful. That's why they put not to rebel against father and mother. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 26. Leviticus 19 and 26. Ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantment nor observe times.
and that's just the blood. So let's go to Deuteronomy 21:20.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 20. And it reads, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, This our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard.
Go one more, King.
Verse 21. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shall thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear.
Hey, so hear and fear. All praise to the Most High.
I guarantee you that'll change Deuteronomy 28 and 54.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh,
definitely.
Khan.
Hey, and that concludes the dietary law. Hey, so next week we'll be starting in business practices. Hey, all praise to the Most High, man.
Khan. All praise to the Most High King.
Praise to the Most High, man. Hey, and with that being said,
To the Most High, how about you, Messiah?
Yahbashim Rashai. With that being said, giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, we like to say shalom to everybody.
Shalom.
Shalom.